Why practice makes permanent.
Well, I think, first off, that was from Jim Wood, who was like my 6th grade swim coach.
I was 0 for 2.
Yeah.
Jim might have borrowed it from...
He might have stolen it from somebody. Well,
Lombardi.
Think about Lombardi. I don't think those guys ran a lot of plays, right? They ran like 5 plays, and they just ran them to the point of perfection. Everybody knew what play they were going to run, and they still couldn't stop it, right? That was the legend of that Green Bay Packer offense. Brokers, team leaders, agents lose sight of the fact the fundamentals got you here, and the fundamentals are going to get you there.
Welcome to the podcast dedicated to real estate, insurance, and building your business. Join us as we take you along our own business building journeys with additional wisdom from our network of local and national experts. Welcome to Bricks and Risk.
This episode is brought to you by Property Management Redefined. PMR is not just managing properties, we're creating partnerships that build long-term success for property owners. John and his team can be reached at manage@gopmr.com or by phone 267-753-6005. Tim?
Yes, Sean.
Who's a good client for PMR?
Property Management Redefined is looking for property owners who value 3 things: accountability, reliability, and a results-driven approach. They want to maximize returns, but still provide client and tenant satisfaction.
There's a lot of property managers out there.
Yes, there are.
What does PMR do really well?
Biggest thing is they're seamless and they're worry-free. So with that approach in mind, it allows the property owner to put their trust in PMR and know that the results will be there. The other thing I think a property owner is really going to value because they do it so well is that they have a local expert team, boots on the ground, managing your properties and your tenants' expectations every day so that you feel good about your investments.
We have millions of listeners out there.
Tens of millions.
If they want more information, how do they find PMR?
Right here, guys. Reach out to John Sachs and his team at Property Management Redefined. They'll take good care of you. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bricks and Risk. I'm Tim Garrity.
And I'm Sean Mooney.
Today, Sean, we got a boy from Jersey. We have our friend Josh Wilton, the founder of Queenston Realty and the Wilton Group. How you doing today, Josh?
I'm good, gentlemen.
Welcome in.
Us.
Thank you.
Long time coming.
I know.
All right, so Josh has been practicing within the greater Princeton area for over 20 years. He's led a team that has sold billions in home sales, built on a foundation of data-driven strategies and a relentless focus on numbers. Despite the level of volume he has closed and the success that comes with it, he has never lost sight of the most important part of the deal: the client and their experience. Josh hosts a hyperlocal podcast called The Wilton Report and has been potting out since 2023, now with over 100 episodes. He's a Virgo and a middle child. High DC on the disc chart. I'm not a disc expert, but D is dominance and C is conscientious. Is that correct?
Conscientious analytic, yeah.
Okay. Let's start with that. Why even take a disc test? Like, why do you find that to be helpful?
So I was introduced to DISC as a methodology for coaching.
Oh.
I'm going to say 10 years ago.
Wow.
And
okay.
What they did at the time, I was in leadership at a different brokerage, and they took the management team, and we all had to do our assessments going into the meeting. So we came in and it was done. We hadn't seen it yet. And the administrator of it organized all the managers by their disc, right? And there was only 2 of us that were D's in the corner. And he said, "Josh, just kind of keep going." And I'm like, huh? Just keep going out of the corner. And I'm like, here? He goes, no, keep going. And eventually I was all the way by myself, like way out in the corner. Yeah, like way out in the corner. And it was kind of like, you're like somewhat embarrassed because you don't really know what it is. And then he plotted it, right? And he put all your characteristics up there. And at that point I realized the traditional brokerage model coaches everyone to everything versus everyone to what they're naturally good at. The disc, all it does, like if you're in sales and you haven't taken it, you should, or if you're in sales leadership, you should, and make your people take it. It as a coach, if you're coaching a high D, don't have that person behind a desk answering the phone. Like they'll put their head through the wall within about 2 hours. Have them out knocking on doors. If they're an S, they're going to be the best inbound lead converter you've ever seen with proper coaching on scripts and stuff like that. So as a coach, as a leader, it allows you to look at your team and go, okay, we're going to position you here on this lead pillar, and we're going to position you here on the script. And so it allows people to play their best game. It allows you to coach people to their best.
We actually, all right, so we are going to do this on this show. We are going to do it. I swear.
We should.
We are.
Should.
And we're going to have like envelopes, and we're going to guess. And
are you going to have your Karnak?
Yes.
Your hat? Your little Johnny Carson genie hat?
Sean's a C.
But
just so you know.
What?
Bet everyone $1.
We'll have a betting board.
Yeah, we'll take some bets. We'll take some bets.
We'll make it an interactive show.
Bet that Sean's a C.
C. But what this brought me to is we just did an episode that we released, and it was why sales coaches and mentors
just came out on Tuesday.
Give everyone the same program as to like, hey, just do this and you'll be successful, right? So most people don't bother to get to know the subject and what their traits are or what could potentially make them successful or where they would thrive, and think that blueprint that they're going to give is going to be applicable to everybody.
Right.
So I think it's from your position and what you're saying is very important. Know how they're wired, and then develop that program for what's best suited for them.
Yeah, and it helps you hire more effectively, right? So like if you're hiring, a bookkeeper or an accountant, obviously you want a high C. You want somebody who's good with numbers and comfortable with spreadsheets. And if you're hiring a salesperson, high I's are great, right? Because they're outgoing and they're not afraid. So
pretty sure that's me.
You're definitely high I, and bet that too. And so
get it on the board.
So it just allows you to sort of like when you're looking and you're interviewing talent or you're coaching people. To your point, like why would I coach somebody who's afraid of door knocking to door knock? They're going to fail. Like why would you coach somebody to fail? Whereas a high D, like why would I coach them to sit behind a desk and answer the phones? Right. They're literally going to run away. Like I actually ran away from preschool as a little kid twice, and then they expelled me. My dad was just talking about this. I swear to God.
Oh, you and Mooney are so alike.
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't have that one on the bingo card, but very similar.
Yeah. He's like I didn't blossom. He didn't blossom until 4th grade.
Oh yeah, I was a little later than that. But yeah, literally I got expelled from preschool because I ran away.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because I just wouldn't take naps.
Better than biting.
Well,
yeah, I just went out the front window.
So this really brings us into the next question. So in this one I love. So you started an independent brokerage from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
But you've also built some other companies. You built some property management. We were just talking about that before the show started. A development team, a consulting company. But let's stick with the brokerage. So first of all, it's a massive undertaking.
Yeah.
You came from the corporate world of real estate prior to building your own brokerage. Why independent? Was that part of it? Or why'd you decide to do it non-traditional?
So I was with one company for a long time, shall be nameless, and they who shall not be named, right? And the day before Thanksgiving in 2020, I got fired after 20 whatever years. And I can't really say it was for cause. It was more just like personality difference with someone who was above me. So that happened, and then it's sort of like we looked at it from the perspective of we didn't want to put ourselves in a position of having anybody do that to us again, right? Because it happened. They fired me, and then one of my business partners, she got wind of it, she quit. My other business partner, she got wind of it, she quit.
Wow.
And that's sort of how we came to be, because people were just kind of peeling out of this firm. And
were they thinking that they would be next? Like what? Or they
no,
didn't
it wasn't that. It caused them to lose belief in the direction of the company.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, relationships. They probably had an amazing relationship with you.
Yeah.
They fired you because of personality stuff, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go with Josh."
Yeah. So it wasn't even we were going to go together. Well, there was nowhere to go.
Oh yeah.
It was just sort of like,
now what?
Now what?
Yeah.
And so when we went independent, or we decided to go independent versus like, whatever, it was just, I think it was like, trauma bonding. It was like we didn't want anybody to have control of us. We didn't want to sign a franchise agreement. We had a specific model in mind that we wanted to curate. So it was kind of like we didn't want to be told what to do, and we didn't want somebody above us who unfortunately didn't know what they were doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Whether it's in a franchise world or whatever. So we just went boutique.
That's actually, I've referenced this on the show before. There's markers in your life that you kind of hold, and then they kind of chart your path down the road. And I'll never forget, my dad was a sales guy for a national company, and he was
Shout out to Tom Mooney.
Yeah. He was with them 14 years. Like, exceptional sales guy. Always, delivering, always highest marks, all the national awards. And literally one day in the mail, he got a letter. Your position is being removed.
In the mail.
In the mail.
Class.
And so that is something that has always stayed with me, where I'm like, I never want to get a letter like
I get that letter. Yeah. I never want to put anybody in the position where they can do that.
Right.
Yeah.
So as, my career is going and getting going, and I'm starting to formulate, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? Top of my, like a very top was like, all right, well, it's going to be mine. And I'm not going to just be underneath someone that one day they just hand me a letter.
That letter.
So it's kind of, similar.
It's funny, like it didn't even happen to you, but it defined your path, right?
Yes,
like that's like,
immensely.
It did happen to me, and it defined my path.
Well, that day where it's like my family is now like this atomic bomb is dropped, and we're like, oh my gosh, like what are we gonna do? My dad doesn't have a job. Like,
yeah, it's beyond stressful. Yeah,
that just resonates.
Yeah.
All right, so you tortured yourself enough by starting a brokerage from scratch. That's not an easy thing to do. Not only that, but you've grown it to an amazing level of success. So congratulations.
I have great partners.
Why property management? Like, why torture yourself? We just had John Sachs as a sponsor of the show. Shout out to Johnny Sachs, Property Management Redefined. And he was just saying, like, it's like the most thankless job. It's, you only get calls when you're in trouble.
Yeah, but even one better, when he's starting, like, day one, he goes into this real estate meeting, and Alan Dom says to him, hey, kid, you're starting a property. What are you, nuts?
Shout out to Alan Dom.
Why are you
Philly
doing
legend.
this? So that just to kind of reference that.
Why
put that on top of it? It's another layer of responsibility. It's another big business to grow.
Yeah, so true story, right?
Mr. D.
This lady who was a broker in town, she ran like a very small boutique, singular owner operator, and she had a property management portfolio. And she was retiring. She literally walked indoors and said,
interesting. I don't think I heard this story.
Yeah, she said to Engel and I, one of my partners, I want you and Josh to take over my property management business and buy from me. And I said, absolutely not. Like
it's kind of multi-million-dollar real estate. I don't need rentals.
A, I don't know anything about it. B, we have so much going on. We just started a company.
Yeah.
I don't need to.
Timing couldn't be worse.
Timing could be better, worse, whatever. And then England goes, "We'll take it." And I'm like,
"What the who?"
Oh my god, because she's fearless. She's fearless, and she will tell you, very devout. She tells you fear comes from the devil. Like, it's a bad. Don't listen to fear. Do the opposite. So there we were, and we were promised a book of 68 doors, and we ended up with a net 38.
Oh
right?
Boy.
Did you pay for 68?
Different story.
Conversation for another lunch.
All right.
Yeah.
We continue.
Well, that'll be episode 2. But needless to say, there was a day I was sitting at my desk just because, Engel is we'll take it. And then she's like, all right, good luck, And she went back to selling real estate, which is what she does really well. She's a, $80 million solo producer.
Wow.
So I had one day I was just sitting at my desk like this, oh my God. I had people coming in at the end of the month with bags of cash.
Oh my God.
We inherited a platform where it wasn't digital, right?
Oh God.
Vendors were going out unlicensed and uninsured. It was really there was a point where I'm like, blank this.
Right.
I don't need this.
You can say that if you want.
Fuck this.
Yep.
I don't need this. And I don't know. And I just kind of I just pushed to the side of my desk and I focused on something else. And I came back the next day. I'm like, you know what? I can figure this out. And I made some personnel moves. I put somebody in charge of that business, put them on a salary, and then we just set on a path to growth. And we're just about to, 2 years later, eclipse 200 doors.
That's unbelievable. So, to give a sense of like just your brokerage, like, how many agents are working for your independent brokerage?
We have 30 associates.
Okay. Yeah. And you guys have done hundreds of millions in volume. We'll
do like 350 to 450 a year.
It's unbelievable. But you're also dealing with a higher price point.
Correct.
So when you're in Princeton, or let's call it Princeton, Greater Princeton,
Junction,
next door. But yeah,
it's not a cheap place to live.
No.
Were you always in kind of like the luxury space with your previous employer, or as an agent? Did you get into that when you started independent? Like, how'd that come to be?
So I managed in Princeton for a long time. As an agent, when I started, like most agents, a million years ago, my average price point was probably 150, and moved to Princeton. Princeton just is a naturally more expensive town. It's gotten exponentially more so. So people are out saying, "Oh my God, your average sale price is over $1 million," which is true. But there's only 59 houses for sale in Princeton today. Wow. Like if you're in the Philly metro,
yeah,
you have 1,000 houses you can sell.
Yeah.
It's 59. So it forces you to be, like you said earlier, you have to focus on the math. You have to focus on the numbers. You have to have very curated, specific customer process that you do not deviate from. Every single customer, every single time goes through this process. Otherwise, they will fail when it comes time to make a bid. Like they won't get it. So, everyone's like, "Oh, you're so lucky." I'm like, choose your heart.
Yeah.
But that's
high-end sales are not easy.
Yeah.
Personalities and a lot at stake.
The personalities, for us, it's just the scarcity. Like there's just not a lot of it.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of homes.
What is the process? Did you develop it? Was it something that just kind of came over time? Like,
good question.
Like, if you're selling something very specific to a very specific clientele, how did you develop that process, and what were some of the things that you needed to hit on?
That's a good question. So I think the buyer consultation, like talking about the buyer side, right? So the buyer consultation process is not new.
Right.
I was listening to a Tom Ferry podcast on the way here. He was talking about the buyer consultation, right? Everybody
relatively new nationally speaking, ever since the NAR thing. But prior to that,
I don't know. I think people practice it, but maybe not with the diligence which they're doing now.
Yep.
But I always believed in it. Like you're taking somebody on a path to buy 100, 200, 300, $1 million, $2 million home. You need to explain the process, your process, their obligations. It's a business relationship.
Yeah.
So we focus heavily, borderline maniacally on that. So, and a big part of that is the numbers. Like, look, the market doesn't care what you think it's worth. These are the metrics that determine the market. Here's case studies of houses similar to yours. So by the time they're done with the meeting, it's a true business meeting. They know the process. They know what's expected of them. They know what's expected of us. And they know, at least on the baseline level, how to start evaluating real estate strategically.
Yeah. I
think, when you look at it, we were just hired by a buyer, right? We did the presentation, the consultation with him. He's about a $2 million buyer, relocating from California. I've been working with another broker for 6 months to a year, right? And went to see a house because he, hadn't quite made the decision to fire that person, and asked them about the escalation clause, to ask them about the data points, and they couldn't formulate a coherent answer. She said, "You're fired." Called us up and said, "I'm working with you too."
Nice.
And
because it was so clearly defined. Yes or no?
Yes or no. They literally couldn't formulate an answer. Whereas we know, because it's literally
systematic.
All we focus on. Not all, but a big part of what we focus on.
But it makes the relationship better. It makes getting a deal done easier. So for you, you can nail that down. Everything becomes easier.
Well, I think like literally listening to Tom Ferry, it's confidence then process, right? Like literally, like whatever episode I was listening to of his today. So when you're thinking about it from the consumer's perspective, There's only 59 houses on the market. 7 of them are new construction. Can't even live in it, right? 65% of it's above $2 million. They're selling in 2 days. There's 7 bids. What do I do? What do I need to do?
Yep.
And if you can't visually demonstrate what they need to do, I can, and my consumer will win over yours. Full stop.
Hey everyone, this is Tim, your favorite Bricks and Risk co-host. But don't tell Sean. I hope you're enjoying this episode, and I'll get right back to it in a moment. Our audience grows through word of mouth, so if you would please take a moment of your time and give us a review on the platform you're on, that would be fantastic. Please also help spread the B&R word by sharing your favorite episode with a friend. We greatly appreciate your time and trust. Now, back to the show. So, with your brokerage, you are a practicing agent.
Mm-hmm.
You have a team within your own brokerage.
Correct.
What's the argument for never stop practicing or like being involved with your clients? Because we just had someone on. We had John Campbell on. He's literally traveling in a rehab school bus all over the country with his family, homeschooling their kids. He runs a team in Pennsylvania that does 300 units a year. And he's obviously not practicing. He's not even in Pennsylvania. Like, he's driving all over the place. So, like, when you went out to start your brokerage and now you're years into it, you're about five years into it, why keep practicing? Why not pass off the leads to other agents and say, like, I'll work, on my business, not in my business? Like, what's the argument to, like, keep working in your business?
So from the broker's perspective, we keep very little. Like, if agents ever woke up to the fact that they're the creators of their business and not their broker, every traditional brokerage would go out of business like that. If agents ever woke up to that fact,
yeah,
that industry shifts overnight. So, but again, the big brokerages sell the agents, I'm going to give you this, and I'm going to give you this, and I'm going to give you this. And they're like, wow, this is so great. Meanwhile, they don't even know what they're talking about because it doesn't register with their disc, but they're overwhelmed by the pageantry of it. And then, maybe as a new agent, you can get open houses or, on a team or whatever. But if that ever happened, if agents ever woke up that they don't need to pay a franchise fee and they don't need to give away, a third to half of their money to the broker, that'd be interesting. So we are of the belief that you are the creator of your business. You should keep pretty much all of it, right? So we don't keep a lot on the brokerage side. Like, we run it very lean. Secondly, on the team, we're a pretty nascent team. We're young, right? We're 3.5 years old. We'll do about $100 million this year,
Unbelievable.
But for us to get, for me to get to that point, it would have to be, 150 to 200, which we'll be at in 2 years. We'll make those decisions then. But I do give a lot of leads off, somebody left me a message yesterday morning. I went to their house because they want to sell their house. And I said, by the way, because I texted them, I called them, texted them, confirmed the appointment on text, and just went to the house.
Yeah.
And then I sat down at the kitchen table. They're like, yeah. And I said, how'd you hear about us? Because, we're our boutique or whatever. And he goes, oh, well, my loan officer told me to call so-and-so at the firm. It was one of our agents. And I'm like, oh my God. So I did a quick buyer consultation, quick seller presentation, got in the car, called our agent and said, hey, by the way, you have a listing and a sale.
This is yours, not mine.
You need to deal with. We got to figure out how to hand this off to you.
I just juiced it up for you.
Yeah, basically.
You're good to go.
She's taking it. Today's Thursday. She's going out with them tomorrow. Yeah,
Cool.
Do that transition and that handoff.
Yeah, so obviously there's a respect with your agents. It's like, hey, just because I'm here and I'm doing this right now, this is your transaction. I'm here to make
100%. Sure. But we also anything I figure out that works, they get. And I'm, dogmatically curious, right? Crazy curious. So last year I went to Baltimore and I wrote a check for $12,000 for 1 day of coaching.
Wow.
Right. And best thing I ever did. The next team meeting, which we do once a month for the brokerage, they got the whole playbook. And the brokerage didn't write the check. I wrote the check.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So when I took his listing presentation, which I basically bought, repurposed it for our company,
wow,
they got to have it. You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm hanging on to a thread. Don't tell the team.
Right.
You know, like here it is.
Abundance here. Here we are.
Here you are. Yeah, and it's true. Like scarcity versus abundance mindset, right?
Sure.
Like more is more. So why would you work for a small boutique whose owner competes with you? Well, just make sure that they give you their playbook, which we literally give our playbook away. So Ingle, who's one of my partners, she's an $80 million solo producer. Whoa. Think about that, right?
Obviously, she's got an assistant, I'm guessing.
She has one assistant, more or less part-time.
Holy cow.
Who serves as a buyer's agent for her too, but she's a machine. Like God assembled her to spare real estate parts.
Dialed in.
Crazy high belief system. She repurposed her listing presentation. We gave it to the company. You can have this. I just said, look, there's a lot that I don't know, but I'd take that.
Yeah, all day.
You know what I mean? Like
it's rising tides. I mean,
it's exactly.
You know, it's
exactly. So rather than force things down everybody's throat, it's like I do it here to the disc. If you're good at this, play this play. Just keep refining that play. Don't do something you're going to fail at. Like don't ice skate uphill because it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But if we pull a thread and it works, here you go.
Yeah. You referenced that the recent client you were working with was with another firm for 6 months or a year.
Yeah.
Do you find that in your niche market, luxury, high end, that happens a lot? And is it an easier convert, or is it harder to engage and complete that deal?
We are now at this point being sought out by the consumer, who would literally come to us and go, look, I'm working with another associate. This is not working. I cannot understand why I'm losing. Like think about it. These people are trying to buy a home.
And they have a lot of money to spend.
It's even if it was 300.
Right.
Doesn't matter. Like if it's 100, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You know, they're trying
and you mean
to
like
buy
they've lost out on 6 deals?
Bids and it's, I don't know. We'll get the next one. That's not a strategy. Mm-hmm. You have to have a defined strategy. We have a defined strategy. So we just closed a lady Tuesday. Super nice lady. Had been working with, a casual friend, right? And, I'm not even sure how we met her. I think she kind of sought us out. And same thing. We did the consultation. This is how we approach it. This is what we do. If you want to work with us, this is the agreement you sign. This is our methodology. This is our pricing strategies, our bid strategy. We go through every mechanism of the process. She was blown away. I hate to say this, fired our agent, hired her us. She's been looking for like 3 years. We got her a house in like 4 months, 5 months. Unbelievable. So I don't know. It's like listen to the Tom Ferry podcast, steal his stuff, put it into place. I think most people will listen to it and go, that won't work for me because,
fill in the blank.
And they go down that line versus, I'm just going to try and figure this out. We just try, when you're a solo operator or, mini operator, if you don't figure it out, you got a pretty big problem.
True. All right. So you told us you're a routine guy.
Yeah.
Talk about routine a little bit. Is it morning? Is it night? Is it both? Like what's a routine that gets you moving to run a real estate brokerage and a property management company, a development team? Like what's the routine?
A lot of coffee.
Right.
I am a morning person. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm more or less useless after, I would even say like 7, 8 o'clock.
What time are you up?
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing at 4?
Well, take care of personal stuff and then have a cup of coffee and then I meditate.
Okay. Every day?
Every day.
How long you meditate for?
Today was like close to 30 minutes.
Damn. Oh, you're doing like TM, like transcendental?
Like today was just, I did, there's a couple I'll do repetitively just because it, puts you mentally in a good space. And then there's a few we just bought a building for work, which
awesome, man. Congratulations.
Financially, I had no business doing, but whatever. It's like you have these ideas.
Engel wanted the building, so she got the building. Right. I didn't want to do it, but
so here we are. And I don't even have to pick out the couch.
Oh my god! And so here we are. Yeah, we bought a building, which again I had no financial business doing, but we did it. So like literally the last 6 weeks was among the more stressful just putting this deal together. So it's like meditation just allows you to have a clear space, you know. And I think, you know, like the Dawkins is an author, this guy, David Dawkins, I think his name is, and he's something called an energy scale, right? The top of the scale is like joy, love, enlightenment. The bottom of the scale is like shame, fear. Those are horrible forms of human energy. So it's like in the morning, you just try and go, all right, if I'm feeling fearful or if I'm feeling here, how do I play a better mental game today? Yep. And that's my morning routine. Then I journal every day. Okay. Without fail, like religiously journal. And then I'll go to the gym, go for a walk, or I could be at my desk by like this morning. I was there at 6:30.
So pretty much like the first like 2.5 hours of your day are really focused on you and your well-being. You know, meditation, exercise, get caffeinated, like journal. Like it's almost like prepare yourself to, I hate to say it, to go to war, because
I wouldn't say war, but it's
business is crazy, and you got a lot going on, man.
It's intense. Yeah.
You got clients, you got employees, you got agents, you got partners buying buildings. Like, you got all this stuff going on.
She's gonna be mad, by the way. It was sort of my idea until like the whole, whatever. I don't even need.
Listen, we do this for the clicks.
Single.
Just leave that
Shout out.
You know,
we got to get coffee.
Like the sparring.
I need the skinny.
She's amazing. She talk about vibrating at a high level, right? She vibrates at a crazy high level, and so anyway, we're buying this building and moving, and we needed that. Like
Mooney just bought a building.
Nice.
Yeah. We'll
talk about buy a second one if you want to do the JV.
Yeah.
That's a whole different story.
Yeah. Good.
I'm closing him on the podcast.
Open this envelope.
What do you think of that? One thing you taught, we say, what do you love most about what you do? You said, I love it all. Clients, agents, building companies. And I said, let's go with agents. Let's go with the most dramatic. Why do you love leading real estate agents?
Well, my life of leading real estate agents today is very different than at a traditional brokerage, right? It's $6 million to get in the door.
Okay.
We won't hire you.
You have a floor.
Yeah.
You don't meet the floor. It's just not a good fit. Not a good fit.
Financially doesn't work.
Yep.
We don't keep enough money, you know? And that's part of it. And the other part of it is you are who you surround yourself with. We are not geared for new associates. Like, that is not, a team leader can hire a new person, but you're responsible for training them, the whole thing. So we wanted to have a little bit more of a curated business model, and we didn't want part-timers. We didn't want, I don't mean this negatively, new associates who've.
No, there's nothing negative. That's reality.
7 out of 10 don't make it.
Yep.
A churn. So, and the brand has taken off.
Awesome.
You know, so the drama. I won an award last year, but my production's down. Can I still have the award mentality? We don't. We don't have any of that.
It's so shiny.
It was like, do you guys listen or follow BAMX, right? You actually liked that Instagram post I shared.
Yeah.
So whatever his name is, the broke agent, right?
Yeah, Eric Simon.
Eric Simon.
He was on
I interviewed him a while back. He posted, he had the greatest, I thought it was just so genius, right? I'm in the top 10% nationally. Never sold a house. You know, don't even, my MLS subscription expired. You know, whatever. Yeah. It was so ridiculous. And he's like, you know, he had this.
This thing
going.
Was great.
And I'm like, that is, if you ask what the opposite is, it's Queenston Realty. We are the opposite of that. We are customer focused, process focused. You want an award, you apply for the state award, right? We work hard, we play hard, but like, we're not here to inflate your ego, so you can have 7,000 things in your email signature.
I don't have a leaderboard here to make the other people feel the fear or the shame.
And we had that, at my old firm, and there's good and bad with it, but like, you're with us, you are in the world of giants. Like, there's some major producers that work at that firm, and it's just sort of like, if you come in and you're 10 million, we want to make you 20. If that's your objective, and we'll give you the path to do that.
It seems to me less professional in a way. Like, if you're not concerned, like, your job as a real estate agent is to sell homes. And if your focus is not on the selling of the homes, but rather the acrylic
as we call it,
like, I don't know. It's your professional approach to what you're doing is misguided.
Yeah, I think it is. And I think too, when and I think back to like some of the old offices you would visit, right?
Because you were like a regional guy, right?
Yeah.
You were going out to all different offices.
They'd have like the plaques from like 1972, and then and then it stopped in like 1995.
Right.
But they never changed their email signature. It still says it on their card. You know what I mean? Like,
we haven't placked out for 25 years.
Like, that's not who you are. Just be whatever, But like they hang on to that one identity versus letting it go and creating a new one.
We got an email recently for our insurance office. It's this long dissertation about this award you've been nominated. It's like, send $500 and we'll save. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I think in high school, right? Who's who?
Yeah.
All American.
Best dressed insurance company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duh.
I'd give you that.
You're right.
I don't know. It
So would I.
for me, it's like, are we professionals doing what we should be doing, or
we should be helping the client get what they want? They want a home. We're gonna fight tooth and nail to get it. If you want to sell it, we're gonna fight tooth and nail to sell it. Beyond that, apply for the state. If you want, apply for the state award. Awesome. We'll celebrate it. No problem. But it's like the real estate industry has.
What's it called? Real Trends? Is that?
There's Real Trends.
Yeah.
There's whatever. But it's got a bad habit of celebrating mediocrity. So if you celebrate mediocrity, then mediocrity becomes the norm. It's just not who we are.
It's funny. We did an episode, I can't remember when, but we were talking about stop obsessing for people in real estate, residential real estate. Stop obsessing over your volume and start obsessing over your ROI, your commission, the money you're making. Look, this is a career. This is a job. Don't want to focus on the money too much, because then you start doing things for the wrong reasons. But the people who are like, I did 10 million, I need to do 20, and at all costs, I'll hire 2 people I shouldn't hire. I'll spend too much money on leads I shouldn't be chasing after. I'll find a way to like meet more agents across the country and get referrals, and like you get one, but you spent weeks on it. Like, there's so many people who just chase that volume thing, because that's what I feel like the race is over in our industry. It's about volume. But again, like, as you've learned, you're running your own independent brokerage. You're doing a ton of volume, but you're also out there crushing $100 million in sales yourself. That is incredible money. And then you're, almost 3-4x just as a company, like teaching people to understand, look, you're working to help people to build a business, to have a career, not worry about losing, like you said, not worry about someone's hanging, you want to keep working here? And you're like, no, I don't. And you go out and you do your thing. I think the shift in mindset away from like, stop trying to like beat others out and get that award. Focus a little bit more about what you're doing day in, day out to meet more clients, to help them out, to get more Google reviews, because that's a glowing example of you as a person. And to just almost like fine tune your business so that your ROI does go up. Because if you help 10 people and you help them well, they're going to go tell 5 people each how great you are. And now you're not running after business anymore. The business is attracted to you. Like you said, your brand, Queenston, they're attracted to that because you treat people right. You have a process. Like, you deliver on what you say you're going to do. You're probably setting records for sales. And therefore,
we wouldn't know.
Right. Therefore, people just come to you and they're like, I want to work with you, not let me go out and like convince people to like work with me so I can get my numbers up.
Well, I think there's agents and there's owners, right?
Yeah.
Agents don't understand that they're running a P&L, like a profit and loss statement. Owners run a P&L. So if you're an agent at a traditional brokerage, if you ever looked at your P&L, you'd be like, can we talk about this?
Yeah.
You'd call yourself into the office.
Right.
Sit down.
Hey, Tim, you want to talk? Sure, Tim. All right, Tim, sit down. What is it, Tim?
Why am I paying this much money for, I don't understand. And so we have, in our business, it's owners, like in our firm. Like we hire owner operators, people who understand the P&L, people who still want support, still want systems, still want the CRM. Like we give them Bold Trail. We have a media coordinator. We have a dedicated CTC service. So it's like, we have systems to help grow scale, if that's what they want to do. Or they just want to go from 10 to 20, be a solo operator, whatever. Awesome. That's awesome too. But if you're an agent, stay a Coldwell Banker. It's a good place for you.
Yep.
Give them half your money.
Love it. All right. So your quote, which I thought was great, and I was looking up to see who said this. Practice makes permanent. That could either be by Bobby Robson, who is a football coach, or Vince Lombardi. Why practice makes permanent?
Well, I think, first off, that was from Jim Wood, who was like my 6th grade swim coach.
I was 0 for 2.
Yeah.
Jim might have borrowed it from...
He might have stolen it from somebody. Well,
Lombardi.
Think about Lombardi. I don't think those guys ran a lot of plays, right? They ran like 5 plays. And they just ran them to the point of perfection. And everybody, I think, when everybody knew what play they were going to run, they still couldn't stop it, right? That was the legend of that Green Bay Packer offense. So I think what happens is that brokers, team leaders, agents lose sight of the fact the fundamentals got you here and the fundamentals are going to get you there. So like every Friday, we have a 9 o'clock Zoom call and it's script practice. It's what to say.
Wow.
You have to know what to say. Like if you don't know what to say, everything else falls apart. There is no buyer consultation. You're not showing a client a house, or you're showing them the house, but they don't know the market, and then like everything starts with this script.
Do you get pushback? I assume you have very seasoned agents that do a high volume of business.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need the script. Or is it?
Or I don't
that?
do
It's
scripts.
optional. Don't come.
Oh, okay.
Don't come.
Yeah.
We'll have 10 to 15 people every Friday
Yeah.
on a Zoom call. And we practice on Fridays, the open house script. Every Friday. Like, don't deviate. Going out for the weekend. There's no professional athlete. Well, the NFL plays once a week, right? So, and I know you're a Giants fan.
Yeah.
So,
F the G men.
with the green here, right? You know what they do on Friday, Saturday? They do walkthroughs. They're not banging pads, but they do walkthroughs of their plays. The repetition in sports is so high, right? Because you're performing at a crazy high level. And
Do it in your sleep.
Do it in your sleep. For whatever reason, you start here and you're like, I don't need that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to do that. And then all of a sudden your business just, like you have that weird, and then you blame it on the market. Buyer, like agents who say buyers are liars, I just want to like body tackle them and throw them out a window, because it's not the agent, it's not the buyer, it's you.
Yeah.
Like you're not prepared. So preparation, that kind of like, and I've told like, it's borderline maniacal, my focus on it. Proof's in the pudding.
Yeah. Where did you learn that? Like, would you credit like your last job, like managing a regional area of brokerages, to get really good at that? Was that instilled in you when you were young? Like, where does that come from?
So my first corporate job was a company called Dale Carnegie Training.
Oh yeah, you worked for them.
I worked for them.
Wow. Okay.
And we had a script, like when you first started, like you had the script and it was like, you're going to say this, and literally they're going to say this. And then you just follow like it. And like, it was so simple. It was like 7 lines. And I remember my first like interview, I'm like interviewing this lady and I'm like,
is she going to say it?
Like,
is she going to give me the reason?
Yeah. And it was like, it just was like, it was so clinical, And the sales process is, you're not selling people, you're trying to uncover what they want and then give it to them. That's ultimately that's what real estate is. And so I think people think scripts is like slick back hair, gold teeth, right? That's sort of the perception of it. But if the consumer is looking for something and you fumble on what to say to help them, then you're not helping that person or yourself.
Yeah.
That's how simple it is, right? So every Friday's open house. Tuesday we do more like inbound lead scripting, like if you get a Zillow call or, follow up, that kind of say, like if you're making calls that day, like what are you going to say? What's your plan? And so that's Tuesday, and then Monday's CEO day, which we just sort of like, as you know, it's a pretty mad dash in the real estate world. It's 7 days a week, right? Monday's just like a mental reset. Like, are you tracking to your numbers? It's a chance to breathe for an hour on a Zoom call or in person. And then Friday we just do like a mastermind, and that's our structure. Like, it's super simple.
Love it, man. Great conversation. Also, congratulations to you and to Michelle recently getting married. Met her. She's a sweetheart.
You knew before.
That's true. I keep secrets. Please know that. All right, so before we shut this one down, why don't you tell our bricks and riskers where they can learn more about you and everything you got going on?
So do a podcast on YouTube called The Wilton Report. You can definitely subscribe there. It's more specific to real estate, but again, if you want to steal the playbook, just go there and copy what works.
Right.
I'm on Instagram, Josh Wilton or Joshua D. Wilton. I don't even know what it is. And Facebook, LinkedIn, you just kind of look me up. You'll find me.
Love it, man. All right. That's all we have for this one, folks. Thank you for tuning in again to another episode of Bricks and Risk. See you next week. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Bricks and Risk. Our goal is that you walk away with 1 or 2 valuable nuggets, and we greatly appreciate you sharing your time with us today. You can find all BNR episodes on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and anywhere else you get your podcast content. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing.